Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and not sure I grabbed the mic stand I usually grab. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 74, I think. I always lose count of these things, but I'm sorry if I'm kind of like just getting set up. And the reason for that is I was actually laying down some vocals just a moment ago. Or, well, I say a moment, but like a few minutes ago. I've been working on a new song. It's actually one that some of you have heard before. I have performed it for these streams, but it is an unreleased song, and I have been in the process of producing it. So I've been recording it and kind of editing some tracks, and today I was hoping to record vocals earlier this week, and it didn't work out. I use my church. Thank God for this church, because there's a lot that it helps me with. It's a good space for me to do these streams because it's got faster internet than my home, and I usually have the place to myself, so I don't have to worry about people hearing me scream my head off. But also, when I'm recording in general, yes, there are times where the church is empty, so I can come here and there's a closet I like to use, and it's a great place for me to record my vocals. I was hoping to do it earlier this week, but the church was being used for something, and so I had to kind of change plans, and so I was sort of like, all right, well, when's the next available day? This was the next available day. I didn't have anything happening, no obligations before these lessons for today. And lessons, sorry. Usually I have lessons before, but I didn't have lessons, so no obligations before these streams. And so I thought, okay, well, if I'm feeling pretty good, I'll go for it. And I got to be honest, I was really concerned. Like, my vocals were feeling a little, not bad, but maybe just a touch worn this morning. Like I was kind of trying to sing, and just I wasn't feeling as good as I did yesterday. And so I was like, man, I don't know, like, should I really try recording? Especially for this particular song. Like, I didn't just want to like try to get it done. I really wanted to give it my best effort and feel good about it. But thankfully, I figured, all right, I'll come down, I'll set up, I'll go ahead and I'll try at least one take and see how that goes. And if it feels good, I'll keep going. And if not, then I'll keep working on something else until it's stream time. And thankfully, the first take went really good. And so I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And I'm feeling pretty good about the takes I got. So, but of course, I get in the mindset, and so I end up, I'm recording and I'm focusing, and then it's like, oh, I got a stream coming, and I try to squeeze in as much as I can until it's time to stream, and so here I am just getting things set up. But either way, let's see if there's anything happening in the chat. All right, not yet, but for anyone who is tuning in, don't be shy. Please say hello and let me know. How's your week been? Want to know how things are going. And I thought this would just be a good hangout. I thought usually I come with a planned set list, but I thought it'd be fun to give you guys a chance to request songs. So whatever some of your favorite songs are of mine, I'd love to hear that. There is a link. Sorry, I'm used to saying there's a link in the description. In the description, there should be a set list. You should be able to see a list of all my songs that I am able to perform for you guys. So yes. Hey, Stan, good to have you in the chat. Just in time. I was about to pick out a song myself to perform. Not much. How are you, Stan? For Stan and for anyone else tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. And as I was just saying, in the description, there should be a list of songs that are available, songs of mine that I can perform. And so, if you'd like to hear a certain song, let me know what you'd like to hear, and I will perform it for you. I also thought this might be fun to kind of have a little bit of a Q&A. So you can ask me anything. It can be music related or something else. If you have any questions about playing music or how I do something or my favorite something, if any personal questions about my opinions on certain musical things, you can ask that. If you just want to ask how my day was, that's fine. If you want to ask what I think about something non-music related, video games, movies, something else, whatever. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to hang out, have a little bit of a Q&A, see what kind of happens. So, but anyway, if if we have a request, I will take it. If not, I'll just kind of pick out a song and get the ball rolling, and we will go from there. But Stan, starting off, I do have a question for you. How's your week been? How are things going? Anything cool or eventful happened lately? And all right. Let's see. All right, got a request for Ascension. Let me get things set up, and we'll dive right into it. In fact, I'm going to I'll bring the mic with me just so it's not like this awkward silence while I'm setting things up. Now, Stan, I don't know if I ever told you this, but so Ascension, for those of you who don't know, so this is an instrumental track. I put this track out probably, I think back in 2017 was the year. And the reason I originally wrote it was we kind of have to go a little further back. It's actually when I first learned drums. Or I shouldn't say first learned drums, but when I really started like practicing drums. So basically, me and my friends, we were getting into metal, and one of the like key things about metal is the double kick pedal. That's what everyone likes, is the double bass drum. And so we always thought that was cool. Well, at our church, there was a drum set that happened to have a double pedal. And we're like, dude, that's awesome. Let's try it out. And so, of course, me and my friends, we tried it, and we weren't very good at it. But I had played a little bit of drums. I knew how to keep a basic beat. And so I thought, well, maybe if I go as fast as I can, it'll have some consistency, like enough consistency to sound like a decent beat. And then I can just kind of pick up on the tempo and just do a basic like 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing. And so I tried it out, and it worked, and it actually sounded pretty decent. My friends were like, whoa, that was awesome, And that kind of motivated me. That was enough motivation for me to think like, man, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could play drums. Before, drums kind of looked like just, I don't know, like it just looked like something I couldn't do. And that was enough motivation for me to say like, man, if I were to actually practice this, maybe I could get good at it. So that's when I started learning drums. And I'm going to try to give you the short version of this story. But basically, when I learned drums, there was an event called Teen Talent. And it had all these different categories. And obviously, it's for teenagers. And you can sign up for all these different categories and showcase your talent. And so there was a music category. There were for different instruments. And there was a percussion performance. And this was going to be my last year attending that or being able to do that. And so I wanted to do as many categories as I could, and I decided to do a drum special. And my parents were like, they didn't know I'd been practicing drums because I was doing it at the church, like we didn't really have a drum set at our house. And so they're like, are you sure you want to do a drum performance? And I was just kind of like, yeah, I think so. Like they didn't know that I'd been learning how to play. And so I went, and sure enough, I got to play a performance. And, it went well. I remember one key moment. I was using a pretty rundown drum set, and one of the stands was like pretty wimpy. And so like there's a section where I was like rocking out, and the stand just falls down, and everyone starts cheering because it looks like my drum set's like falling apart while I'm playing it, and I just keep going. And so it went well. I got a pretty good response from that. And when I finished, I remember my parents, they were like, wow, we did not know you could play drums like that. And it was kind of a sweet moment. And I actually ended up winning that event. I won it. Now, I say that, but anyone who really drums is probably much better than me. But I do all right. And I did go to nationals, which I did not win. I didn't get runner-up or anything like that. But for the regional event, I did win that. So that was kind of nice. And I say all that to say, after playing that, I did my performance for church, and had a few people really enjoy that. And so they asked me, hey, when are you going to do another drum performance like that? And so I wanted to write a piece of music so that I could do another drum performance. But I wanted to get my friends involved. So I was trying to write like some music so that my friends could play the chords and the riffs and stuff. So that's how Ascension came about. I ended up writing the music for that, and my friends are pretty good. So it was, but I was trying to write to their skill level as well. So definitely trying to kind of push them a little bit. But Ascension was supposed to be more of like just an instrumental. It wasn't really like it wasn't just meant to highlight the drums. It was kind of meant to highlight like a nice balanced highlight of everything, I guess, So I wrote it originally for my friends to play. And I think, I don't know, just time happened. It never really worked out to get together with them and make it happen. And so eventually I just kind of had to do the track myself. And and that's how it came about. So normally I don't compose too many instrumentals, although I do have two, instrumentals that I have released. But I guess the funny thing about this song is it was actually written more for the drums than it was for guitar or anything like that. But yes. And thanks, Dan. Yep. And the legend was born, a legend, I guess, but I don't know about the. Let's see. Yes. Just got your fiber internet. Okay, cool. Yep. Hope that's working out smoothly. But Stan, thank you for the suggestion. If you have any other requests or any questions, or if you'd like to know about anything, or just any topic starters, let me know. But this one goes out to you, Stan. This one's called Ascension. That's part of why there's a drum intro, because this song was written for the drums, Thank you. Thanks for the request, Stan. That one again is called Ascension for anyone unfamiliar. And that is a song that I've released. That one is available, so you can download it for free from my Bandcamp. There should be a link to that. It's available on Spotify or AppleMusic or wherever you like to listen to music. So cool. Let's see here. Stan says, it hooked me the first time I heard you play it on acoustic in our lesson. That's kind of interesting. It's neat that you remember that. I know a lot of times in lessons, I don't know if you remember the context of it, because, I know in lessons I'll pull out stuff for example. Maybe I was using it for an example or something. But, yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm not sure what I might have been demonstrating with that particular song. Maybe it was the lead stuff, maybe it was the riff, maybe it was the drop tuning. I'm not sure. Some of the chords. Then to hear it in its entirety. Cool. Yeah, it is neat. It's pretty neat how you can hear part of a song and kind of have sort of a preconceived notion about it, and then when you hear it fully in context, that actually kind of reminds me of a story. So back when I was in elementary school, Stan, are you familiar with Avril Lavigne? It's kind of funny. I'm going to talk a little bit about Avril right now. Avril was an artist who kind of debuted in the 90s, and I think I don't know if she's put out anything recently, but I know I've seen her like on social media and stuff in recent years. But definitely in the late 90s, early 2000s, like that's when Avril was like really big. But I didn't know who she was, But she had a very popular song called Skater Boy. And I remember the girls on my bus, riding to school. I would have been in elementary school at the time, and there were girls on my bus, and they were singing Skater Boy, he was a boy, she was a girl, can I make it any more obvious? And I thought it sounded kind of annoying, It kind of bugged me. It was just like, ugh, these girls singing this annoying song. That was my first impression of it. But I remember when I actually heard the song on the radio, and I heard that punk rock guitar, and I heard, Avril's voice and kind of the attitude behind her vocals. I was like, whoa, this sounds cool. Like I didn't get it, it's amazing how, you can hear like a piece of something and kind of have like a preconceived notion, and then when you later hear it properly, it sort of changes. And now what's funny is, at that age, I was just like, okay, so it is a cool song, and that was about it. I didn't really check out much more of her stuff, but probably over the past like couple years, maybe a little, few years ago, I started checking out more of her stuff, and she's actually like a really good artist. It's kind of funny. It's like, like at that time you kind of have this notion like, oh yeah, she's just some, girl singer. Her music's for girls. That's kind of what you think. But like if you listen, she's got a lot of like really good songs, just yeah, great music, really catchy, cool style and stuff, and yeah. So I don't know if you meant Grundy song or grungy song, but or Grundy song, loved it. But hey, Daniel, good to have you in the chat. How you been, man? How's your week been? We were just talking about Stan had made the comment that I just played Ascension, and he had heard me play it on acoustic guitar, or at least part of it on acoustic guitar, and that was kind of his first notion. And then he was commenting on how how it sounded when he heard it in its entirety, when he heard the full thing. Spell check, yeah. So grungy song, yep. Yeah, and so I was just sharing a little story about when I heard Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne for the first time. First time I heard it was just some girls on my school bus singing it, and I thought it was kind of annoying. But then I heard it on the radio, and I was like, oh, I heard that kind of punk rock kind of guitar and stuff, and I was like, wow, this song sounds great, Another example of that is a Jimi Hendrix song. So there was a song, what was it? It was All Along the Watchtower. The first time I heard that, I don't know if there's any skaters watching, but any skater boys watching. But one of my favorite skate companies, the brand Almost. That's Rodney Mullen's brand. Rodney Mullen is my favorite skater, and he and his team, they put out a video called Almost Round 3, and there were a few different skaters on there with different parts. And Greg Lutzka, his part, he had the song all along the Watchtower. That was the music for his part. But when I saw it, I remember watching it on this little TV with little speakers, and I don't even know that it was stereo. I think it was like one video plug-in and one audio plug-in or something like that. So not a whole lot of low end coming through it. So whenever the song would cut to like Jimi Hendrix solo bits, I thought they were kind of annoying because I couldn't really hear. It was like just the guitar and like some of the beat. Like you couldn't really hear the rhythm of the rhythm guitar or the bass behind it. You couldn't really hear the notes that he was soloing over. And so I kind of thought solos were, annoying for a while. And it wasn't until later when I heard the song properly, when I could hear like the full band and stuff, it was like, oh, wow, this does sound good, So it's pretty neat how you can hear a piece of something, but it's not quite the full picture. Once you hear the full picture, it can be like a completely different experience. Daniel says, been great, hoping to get some rain. Cool, yeah, if it's been, I know, yeah, sometimes going through a dry spell, I'm sure it's nice to get some weather. Now, I don't know if it's just dry and you'd like some rain, or if you don't have a garden or anything like that, do you? That you're hoping to get some rain. I know my parents and my brother, they kind of they'll plant vegetables and things like that, and so a lot of times they'll need rain for that kind of thing. Daniel, we're just hanging out, and so there in the description there should be a list of songs. And so if you have a request and you'd like me to play a song, just let me know, and I'll play a song for you. And kind of doing a little bit of a Q&A thing. So if you have any questions about anything, it can be music related, it could be about something else, movies or video games or skateboarding, activity, anything, whatever, So if you have any questions about anything or a song you'd like to request, just let me know. No garden, but our lake levels are very low. Interesting. And now, is there any? Do you use the lake for anything? Like, do you go fishing or boating? So, is there any reason why low lake levels would affect you, or does it just look nice when it's fuller? Be interested to hear about that a little bit. Stanley says, I was doing a creative assignment. Oh, I see. I was doing a creative assignment, and you were showing me the moods and tones of chords. I gotcha. So, yeah. So when a few years ago when I was giving Stan guitar lessons, I had given him a creative assignment, and I was using Ascension to sort of explain the different moods and tones from chords. Daniel's got a request here. Let's start with Say That It's Over. All right, Daniel. This one goes out to you. This one's called Say That It's Over. Let me get it set up real quick. Let's see here. There we go. All right. And as I'm playing this, you're certainly welcome to just sit back and relax, or if you'd like to give me an update, I know it's been a little while, so I'd love to hear how you're doing, and anything cool or eventful happened lately. You can let me know what you've been up to and stuff, what you're working towards, anything. This one's for you, Daniel. This one's Say That It's Over.
Your smile so deceptive that it almost looks real. Well, it must be hard to fake what you do not really feel. You're hiding, I know it. Tell me what's on your mind. I only wish to help. Won't you let me back inside? Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Your face shows no reaction when I call out your name. Your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away. And you know that I love you, but the words seem to have died. I just want this to end. Please let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Don't drift your eyes, just look at me when I look at you, because you must realize you're barely holding on and I'm holding tight. Would you just please try? Don't give in, you have to fight. Why won't you hear my cry? I don't wanna say goodbye. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. And I don't wanna hear another lie. I just wanna help you. Please won't you let me back inside.
Thank you. Again, that one was Say That It's Over, requested by Daniel. And that is a song that I've released. So, that song is available on Spotify, or if you'd like, you can download that song for free from my Bandcamp. There's links for all that stuff in the description. But yes, Say That It's Over. I've released it. It's available for wherever streaming is, wherever you'd like to listen to it. All right, let's see here. Daniel says, I don't really use the lake, our state park, for any reason other than, that's right, astrophotography. But it also drives business. Okay, interesting. So, I don't believe I've ever actually really asked. I mean, I'm sure you've said it before, but usually on the streams and stuff, I kind of focus on like music and things like that. What do you do for work again? And I could see how the lake would have an impact on that. And then also, I got to ask you about your astrophotography. I'll need an update on that too. But maybe you can tell me what kind of work you do and how the lake affects that, and then we can get onto that topic. Let's see here. Yep, Stanley says, doing good. Just got a new fiber optic internet. Yep. Nice, Stan. You can probably now watch 4K without any buffering. Yeah, which would be nice, you know. It's kind of funny. I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I'm just content. I don't have access to watch anything in 4K, so I usually just watch standard or 720, something like that. Maybe 1080 if I have a really good internet somewhere. But I don't know. Maybe if I were to experience it, it would be hard to go back. Like I feel like, yep, I could see it clearly. That's good. It's not using too much internet speed. So, but maybe, maybe 4K. It's like once you experience it, it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to go back. Speaking of going back, I don't know if there's any gamers out there and stuff, but let's see here. Okay, so recently, I'll kind of go through periods of time playing games and stuff like that, and I had recently finished beating the Batman Arkham trilogy, and so I was kind of trying to figure out like what do I feel like playing next. And I kind of have a list of some games I'm interested in, and I noticed that a lot of the older games, like older generation, like PS1, PS2 kind of stuff, it's starting to become a lot harder to get a hold of that stuff, and it's getting more expensive. So I was like, all right, maybe I'd better prioritize those, like try to get those games first before I lose them. One game I'd really like to play, I'm quite the fan of survival horror. Like action adventure is my favorite genre. And so survival horror to me is kind of like just a really intense action adventure, and so one of the classic survival horror video games is Silent Hill 2. And I can say I'm a big fan of the soundtrack from Akira Yamaoka. If you've if you've never heard the Silent Hill soundtrack, definitely check it out. It's like really, you could probably compare it to like lo-fi beats and stuff, but it's very atmospheric, very chill, very, I don't know, just some really cool, like nice melodies and stuff, but it's a little, like some of it's creepy, but some of it's like just straight up beautiful, and I don't know, the Silent Hill soundtrack is great, so I listen to that all the time, but I've never actually played the games. And if you like just go online, like the average price for PS2 Silent Hill 2 is like $150. It's like, all right, I'm not going to spend that much on a game, and so it's it's like I really want to play it, but I'd like to get it within reason. So because of that, I've been looking on eBay a little bit. Usually eBay is kind of like a last resort for me. I've never really made an account to bid on anything, but I am kind of eyeballing some stuff, and you sort of realize like, hey, there's some potential here. If I can kind of keep my eye on some bids, maybe I can, come across a good deal for the game and stuff. So I've actually I am currently eyeballing some potential bids right now, So wish me luck, Hopefully I can get a good price, and I'd love to score me some Silent Hill 2 and get to experience that game. But I did go to eBay, and I found another game that was expensive, like just to straight up buy it, but I found a good deal of it on eBay, is Dino Crisis. So Dino Crisis, made by Capcom, the same company that makes the Resident Evil games. Again, another great survival horror franchise. But Dino Crisis, it's like Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs. And instead of mindless zombies, the dinosaurs are kind of like smart, And so they'll like hunt you down and stuff. I never owned the game, but my friend did, and I always loved watching him play it. And I've always wanted to play that game. And I got a copy of it, and it came in the mail. Now, I only got the disc. Like, I didn't even get the case. They sent, like, a different case, but it's just the disc. And haven't tested it out yet, but the back of it looks pretty good, so I'm hopeful. It said it was in good condition, and so far, that seems to be the case. But we'll see, So I'm looking forward to playing that. Just haven't had the time to try it out yet. So I am so going back. I'm going back playing some old games and trying that stuff out. So let's see. 1 second. I had a little audio. Okay, there we go. Should be back. Let's see here. That's right. I think I remember you saying you worked in the grocery industry. The pandemic kind of made some aware of the importance of this industry. It also showed us how quickly we can disrupt supply. Yeah, I could understand that. Yeah, so I can see where weather and lake levels, that's going to affect all that kind of stuff. But hopefully things have been kind of returning to normal, since I think, like, I don't know if we're still in a pandemic. I know there are still cases of COVID in some areas, but I think it has, gone down exponentially. So hopefully things are kind of returning to normal. Yep, just nice to have good internet. Don't blame me, Stan. Buffering movies can be annoying. Yeah, that's frustrating. Yeah. So cool. Daniel, how's the astrophotography going? Have you, are you kind of learning it? Is it coming along nicely? Are you planning to post or share any of those pictures? Are you planning to purchase any new lens or anything like that? Be curious to hear about that. And Stan, I know how's your vehicle situation going? I know Stan, you were kind of having some issues with the car, and so are you looking to purchasing a new one? Are you able to use something, rent something, borrow something right now? Be curious to hear from you about that. Let's see here. And 1 second, I'm just going to go ahead and plug in my battery real quick. Don't want the computer to die in the middle of all of this. All right. So I think I am going to dive into another song here. If either of you has a request, let me know, and I'll play something. If not, I'll kind of pick something out, surprise you guys. And but I am curious, oh, sorry, I don't mean to, bombard you with too many questions and stuff, But Stanley says yes, loves science and nature. Yep, definitely some cool things to check out. I think, I don't know. I was trying to jump off of that, but I got nothing right now. I can say it is, it is nice to get outside. Sometimes, working on stuff, I can be so kind of just cooped up in my room, and I forget to get outside, get me some vitamin D. So this is your public service announcement. If you've been inside all day. I don't know what time it is where you are right now, but the next time you have time, get outside, get some sunlight. It's a public service announcement. So, but I can say, speaking of being locked away in my room, Daniel, I didn't get to tell you this, but what I was doing before we started streaming, I actually recorded some vocals for a new song I'm working on. It is a song that you all have heard. So. I'm going to kind of keep it a surprise. Some of you might already know what I'm working on. Some of you might not know what I'm working on right now, but I am working on a song. Haven't released it yet, but I have performed it before. And so I'd already recorded the guitars. I've been kind of editing those, getting those worked on. And I was supposed to record vocals earlier this week, but I was unable to do that, had to kind of change plans. And so the only other time I really had to do it was today. I didn't have any obligations before the stream like I normally do. And so I thought I would take advantage of the time to try to get a vocal session in. And I was actually quite concerned. Like I did a warm-up in the morning, and I just wasn't really feeling it, like my voice just was not, it was hard to sing, and so I wasn't sure if I wanted to try laying down vocals, because laying down vocals is tough, and you're trying to capture like a good performance. And so it's you're trying to capture a good performance, and I don't have the luxury to just like try whenever. It's a bit of a setup. I actually have to come to the church, so I got to travel. I got to set up, and and I got to make it count, because if I record something and it's just no good, then it's like, it's just a waste of time. So I want to make sure like I'm going to be able to give a good performance. But thankfully, I set up, I figured I'd at least try one take, and if I felt good, then I'd go through with it. If not, I would, I would just work on something else until it was time for the stream. And thankfully, the first take actually went really good. And so I was like, all right, I think I'm in the vibe, I'm in the zone. So let's make it happen. So I'm pretty excited. Got some vocals recorded, and that's just one step closer to finishing the song. And it's just, it's just nice to get a song done and get it released. Daniel says, I haven't gone out in a little while. Been a little too cloudy here. Speaking of, it's been like 80s here in my town, but over near the McDonald Observatory in Big Bend, Texas, it snowed pretty heavily. Wow. Crazy to have such different weather climates. Yeah, that's crazy. I actually didn't even know it could snow in Texas. And I don't know. I guess like in Texas, I always kind of picture the, kind of desert side of Texas or whatever, But it is a big state, so I guess that makes sense. I wonder maybe it's this is just me guessing. Maybe snow happens more in the northern part of Texas and not so much in the southern part, if at all, in the southern part. But that would just be my, assumption or guess. But that is really cool. So good stuff. All right, let's see here. So I'm going to have a look at the list, and let's dive into another song here. All right, I got a song here. Again, if any of you have any requests, let me know. If you have any questions about anything, it can be music related, it can be about another topic, whatever you're interested in diving into, just let me know and we'll discuss it. But I'm going to play another song right now. This one is called Brothers to the End. Let me get my mic set up. All right, here we go. Unbreakable, bonded by our passion, undeniable, brothers till the very end. Just a bunch of outcasts, only meant for slaughter. But we will overcome this if we can band together. Look into my eyes, grab a hold of my hand. Remember who we are, brothers till the very end. Remember who we are. Never thought I'd be alone, always thought I'd have a home. One by one you fell away, countless times from digging graves. What was once inseparable has become forgettable. Brothers till the very end, stripped of all its meaning. And now it's just me. And now it's just me. Distant, fragment, shattered pieces. Thank you. let's see here. It snows in certain towns. Back in my hometown of Abilene, hopefully I'm saying that right. Yeah, Abilene. It snowed every year. Lubbock. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce any of these. Gets snow every winter. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, got a couple of requests for Move On, and Stan said, brother, but yep, I read his mind. Stan said, you read my mind. Love the intro, like gunshots. That's kind of an interesting comparison. I know, let's see. Yeah, I guess it is kind of similar to that. Yeah, if you're thinking like machine gun, like, you know. Speaking of gunshots, John Wick 4 is coming out this weekend. Actually, it's coming out today. Oh, wait. No, sorry. Today's not Friday. Man, it's been a long week. Okay. Been a good week, but it's been a long week. Tomorrow, John Wick is coming out tomorrow. I don't know about you guys, but I love the John Wick franchise. Again, action adventure is my favorite genre, so I love a good action movie. And right now, the John Wick franchise and the Mission Impossible franchise, like, they are killing it. You know, that's some good stuff right there. And so far, there's a couple reviewers I like to watch on YouTube, Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Johns. Both of them kind of have a similar taste that I do, especially Chris. Like, he and I have some similarities in our taste in movies. I will say both of them, I think they're more fans of superhero movie stuff than I am. I'm a bit more specific with superhero movies. You know, there's like a few characters I like, but that's pretty much it. Like, just because it's a superhero movie doesn't mean I'm going to be interested in it. But the differences are fine. Like, as long as you understand like where you are similar and where you're different, that kind of helps you judge, like, you know, how applicable their review is going to be to you and whether or not you like the movie. The other thing I'll say is Chris tends to be a bit more, like, he's a little more the filmmaking critic, and Jeremy's kind of more of like the casual goer, I would say. So like, Chris usually appreciates more of the craft behind the movie, and is more of a fan of like the artsy stuff. And then Jeremy is a little more like, you know, I just don't want it to bore me. I just want to have fun, you know. And so they kind of balance each other out. So you can sort of, I like listening to both of them, and it kind of gives you a good gauge. So I say all that to say that both of them gave very positive reviews for John Wick 4. In fact, I think there's talk that it might be the best in the series so far. And so, you know, I don't like to like say that stuff because I don't want to like overhype it for me or for anyone else. But I'm definitely excited about it. Yep, Keanu Reeves is killing it. There's a lot of comments saying that he's probably had enough training to actually be John Wick now. So those movies have to be so much fun to make. Like, that'd be such a blast, just like choreographing fight scenes and driving cars and doing stunts and stuff. I don't know if any of you know Scott Adkins. Scott Adkins is, in my opinion, a very underrated action action actor. That's kind of hard to say. Action actor. I think he's got a pretty good gig. So Scott Adkins is kind of one of those guys where he tends to be the star in B movies. So, you know, it's not these like kind of lower budget movies. Usually he's the main character in those movies. So he does have a bit of a following, a bit of a fan base. But then he'll also get to star in these A-list movies, but usually as like a side character or something, like a henchman or just just some kind of side character. And so I feel like that'd be kind of a good gig because you're not quite like as bombarded with publicity like you might be if you were like an A-list star. But he kind of gets a little bit of that stardom in the lower budget movies and kind of has like, I feel like he would have a more, like engaged fan base, you know, like fans are like kind of a more loyal community and stuff. But the dude's awesome. The dude, he's kind of one I look up to for like fitness and that kind of thing. Definitely in good shape and a really good martial artist. Like the dude's really fast, really explosive, and And yeah, he is going to be in John Wick 4. So, and it's kind of neat. For John Wick 4, the character he's playing, they've actually put prosthetics on him and kind of put him in like a fat suit. So he's kind of playing this sort of heavy weighted kind of like Russian thug character. And yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to utilize him completely, but the little bit I saw, it looks like he's going to be a fun character and stuff. So yeah, super excited. I don't know if I'm going to see it this weekend or not. I'm trying to work it out to go see it with a friend. So we'll see if it happens, but hopefully soon. So definitely looking forward to that. Cool. What about you guys? Have you all seen any good movies lately? Are there any movies coming out soon that you are interested in? Are you interested in John Wick? Let me know. And while we're doing that, I'll go ahead and play a song. Let's see. I'll go ahead. Since I read Stan's mind and did Brothers to the End, I'll come back and do Move On, but we'll go ahead. Daniel requested The Weight of Tomorrow. And I'm actually kind of curious to try this song because, again, this song was originally written for my band back in kind of around like 2012 to 2015, that era there. 2015 was kind of the end of it, but that's when it's sort of funny. 2015 is when we released our EP, but that's also when we kind of like faded out, But yeah, this was a song that I originally wrote for my band, At War With Myself. And also, Daniel, let me know you're still out there, and because I don't want to play this, if you're not there. So I want to make sure you're here to hear your request. But yeah, I originally wrote this for my band, and at the time, I could not do harsh vocals at all. Like, I kind of could, but like, I just blow my voice out when I did it. I didn't have any proper technique. Okay, cool. Daniel's still there. And so my friend was kind of the harsh vocal guy. He was the one who did all the harsh vocal stuff, and he was really good at it. So yeah, this was one of the songs that has a little more cleans than the rest of the song. Like, usually we kind of followed the kill switch engage structure. The verses would have a lot of screaming, and then the choruses would have singing. But this song, the verses have a little bit of screaming and a little bit of singing as well. So it was kind of one, like, when I needed more songs, for these streams and stuff, that was one that I was like, okay, I can actually do this. If I need more songs, this is one I can perform. But even better than that, I've really been trying to work on my screams. It's kind of funny because the only place I can really practice them is in my car. So when I'm driving, if I'm driving out to town or whatever, I pretty much practice harsh vocals every time I'm in my car. So if anyone, were to look in the window, they would just see me driving like, like, man, what's that guy's problem? I'm just like screaming. But I've really been working on, there's two techniques. There's false chord. False chord's the one that comes a little bit easier to me. False chord is basically like, just that like frustrated, like, you kind of make that sound, and you just kind of push into that a little more. So you kind of relax your throat. You almost open up your throat and just kind of let that, kind of, let that sound come out, and you're trying to kind of get your voice out of the way of that sound coming through. So that's the one that I usually use, but the problem with that is it really only works for like low growls and that kind of thing. So can't really do high screams with that technique. And there's not much stamina with that technique. Usually when you do that, you run out of air pretty quickly, so it's hard to keep doing it. You kind of need like breaks. The other technique is fry screaming. Fry screaming is kind of weird. It's hard to explain it, but I almost think of it like you're not tight with your throat, but you are kind of trying to like kind of find that like pinch in your throat, and then trying to like kind of squeeze through that. That wasn't like a great example, but I'm going to try it out. I've been working on my fry screams, and they are getting better. I haven't actually warmed them up today, so they're probably going to be rough. But I've been curious to try this song. Like, man, I wonder if I could do like some harsh vocals or some fry screams and stuff, and get kind of some higher stuff in there. So we'll see how that turns out. But I can say in my car, I'm sounding pretty good. So now I just got to get it from my car and get it to these streams and stuff. So let's see here. Stan says, I did lose track of that one. Thanks, at Daniel. Yep. I'll have to be reminded of this one. Yeah, so, yeah, if y'all hadn't heard it in a while, yep, this, I don't really pick this one. I did this one more back when I was first streaming because, again, I needed more songs. But now, as I have written more songs, released more songs, I usually don't pull this one out too much because this is more of an At War With Myself. That was the name of my band, At War With Myself. It's more of, a song for my old band. It's not really one of my songs, but here we go. We're going to give it a shot. This is The Weight of Tomorrow.
Pressure is building, tearing me apart. I'm falling, collapsing. I can't believe that my foundation is breaking. I stand on weathered ground. I'm waiting and praying that hope can be found. Calm your worried mind. Open up your eyes and suck it up. You've had long enough. My foundation is breaking. I stand on weathered ground. I'm waiting and praying that hope can be found. Standing all alone, well, it must be hard to hold the weight of tomorrow. Live life today and let it fade away. Don't wait for tomorrow. No, it can't be this feeling. It's overwhelming me. Will not defeat me. This is not the end. Calm your worried mind. Open up your eyes and suck it up. You've had long enough. Standing all alone, well, it must be hard to hold the weight of tomorrow. Live life today, don't let it fade away. Don't wait for tomorrow. Standing all alone, well, it must be hard to hold the weight of tomorrow. Live life today, don't let it fade away. Don't wait for tomorrow.
All right. Sorry if that was a little rough. I have not practiced that, so it was just completely going by memory, and even the screaming, I hadn't really practiced it for that song, so I took a chance. I wanted to try some of the fry screams, so I don't know how they came out, but I knew I could safely do all the false chords, but I wanted to see if I could get some fry screams in there, so kind of played around with that. So hopefully that came out okay. Let's see here. Cool. Well, anyway, let's see. Yep, we're still doing all right on stream time and stuff like that. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate that. Let's see. Stan, Daniel, is there anything coming up that you guys are excited about? Anything that you're particularly looking forward to? I can say for myself, had an interesting call the other day. So I kind of help out with the youth group here at my church, and there's an event coming up called Unplugged. And they do it every year. It's at a place called Camp Watermarks. And, it's just a fun, weekend getaway for the teens. And they've got a bunch of games and activities there, and then they have services and things like that. But, I'm always, it's kind of tough. Whenever I go to something like that, I usually enjoy it. But it is hard sometimes. I'm trying to, I'm trying to work out this career with my music. And, it's hard sometimes to take away time from that, I try to just make the most of my time, and I'm trying to, be productive and make progress, get somewhere. And so the idea of having to, step away from my music for a weekend is kind of I could be productive during that weekend, and it's kind of hard to do that sometimes. And again, usually I enjoy it, but if I'm being honest, it's kind of one of those things. It's if they don't need me, and if I don't have to go, then I might stay. And so already this year, I was kind of anticipating that I'm probably gonna end up going, but if depending what happens, I wasn't completely sold on going. But I got a phone call. So the band that's going to be playing there and leading worship music, they called me, and they said, hey, we are really in. They said that they got my number from my brother-in-law, and there's actually apparently I have a cousin from I've got a lot of cousins. So I have a cousin that goes to their church, and they lost access to their bassist. They had somebody in mind that was going to play bass, and then something came up. I think that person is moving or something. I can't remember the exact situation. And they basically have no one. And she said, well, hey, you should reach out to Quincy. He plays everything. So they got my number from my brother-in-law, and they called me. And it's kind of funny because, I didn't have the number in my contacts. So whenever somebody calls and it's I don't have the number, I always expect it to be spam or whatever. So I'll answer, and I'll wait a second, and then I'll be because if you wait a second, sometimes the automated voice thing will start or whatever. But I'll wait, and then I'll just be hello? And then I'm always surprised when it's yeah, is this Quincy? And it's oh, it's a real person. A real person calling me. So it was a real person, and they were hey, man, we don't have anyone to play bass. Would you be able to help? And I said, and I was basically I'm probably going to end up going anyway. So if I'm going to be there, I might as well play bass while I'm at it. So so it looks like that's probably going to be happening. It's still in development. I just got this call yesterday or something. So I got to kind of work things out. They're going to send me the set list, and I'm going to have to learn the songs. But so that might be neat. I'm going to be playing bass with them for the band there and stuff. Stan, I thought of recommending it to you, saying maybe Stan would like to play bass for them. But I figured it's a lot of songs. I'm sure, and they might be different songs than the ones we've done and stuff, so didn't want to put that pressure on you. So. All right, Daniel says, Headrush released a new pedal board. Headrush Prime looks pretty awesome, has the capabilities of cloning amps, pedals, etc. Interesting. I would like one, but mine is doing just fine. I see. But that's pretty cool. I know impulse responses are kind of weird, and I know there is technology to do that where you can kind of, it's a very, very complex EQ, and it can sort of analyze the EQ curve of certain cabinets or amps and things like that, and then mimic it. So that is pretty cool. Don't know if I'm looking into any new gear or anything like that. I can say this track that I'd been working on, I got to borrow my brother's Martin for that. And so this is a track that has some acoustic guitar, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. It's been a while since I've recorded acoustic guitar, but this particular track was in need of some acoustic guitar. My brother had a Martin, and I was like, man, that thing probably sounds good. I mean, it sounds good when he plays it. So I got him some new strings for that, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how the recording has come out so far. Not done processing the whole track yet, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Kind of nice to record with an instrument like that. Stan says, I was not planning on going, but Logan and Brad got me, so this is great news. So cool. So it sounds like Stanley is going. Well, I might be there too, so, it sounds like. So, yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead. Stan had requested Move On, so I'm going to go ahead and play Move On. If y'all have any other requests, feel free to make them. If y'all have any topics you want to dive into, any questions you'd like to ask, just let me know, and I will answer them. I will dive into them. Oops, sorry. So let me just get this set up real quick. Okay. And all right. This one's called Move On. Here we go.
Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. Find yourself at the end of your road. You know it's not over. When you find yourself at the end of your road, you know it's not over. You've been down this road more than once before, and it won't stop you this time. No. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. See how far you've come. stay strong. You can move on.
Thank you. Again, that one's called Move On, and that song is available on Spotify or whatever streaming platform you like to listen to. If you'd like to download that song, you can actually find it on my Bandcamp and download it for free. There's a link for all that stuff in the description. And if you guys are curious, I think The Weight of Tomorrow, I think that one's available on Bandcamp too. And I might have put those songs out on YouTube. They might be there. So if you guys were curious to hear like the original band mix and hear my friend's vocals and hear my vocals from over 10 years ago, I think that song is actually available if you dig for it. I think the band At War With Myself, I think we had our own Bandcamp page. So you won't find it on my Bandcamp, but if you go on Bandcamp and you look up At War With Myself, you should be able to find our EP that we put out all those years ago. So let's see here. Thanks for taking on the bass for me. Don't know if I could pull that off yet. I was, don't worry, Stan, I was kind of joking about that anyway. For something like that, when it's short notice, you definitely want, just very experienced musicians who have done that. Like Stan, you're doing great, but obviously for something like that, you would want to, you would need a few more opportunities like that and need to be able to play for other events at other venues and things. Like the more you play, like right now, if you're just playing, every Sunday at church and picking out those songs, like that's one thing, but learning how to like go somewhere and set up and play in another venue in a different environment, like that kind of takes a little bit of experience getting used to doing that. Being comfortable enough to just like, play songs on a whim, like, hey, we haven't, I know there's no time to practice, but here's the song we're doing. And, basically our group that plays during the 11 a.m. service, Salt and Light, that's pretty much how we do every Sunday. We like pick songs and we don't practice. We just show up and play them, because we played the songs before, or, they're simple enough to kind of pull off. And the only way you get like that just comes with time, That's something... just lots of years of playing. Everyone on that group, all those musicians, they've been playing, since they were kids or since they were teenagers. And so, so it takes a long time to get comfortable enough to just like show up and play something like that. So don't worry. I was joking about, putting it on you and stuff. Let's see here. But who knows what his plans are for us? Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what ends up happening at the event. Love this song, something about it. I kind of lose track of it, then I hear it when I need it. Well, thank you. I'm glad that, glad that it's kind of, motivating. That happens to me too. Sometimes there's certain songs, and I'll just hear it, and then it's like, yeah, I needed to hear those words today. They can help, and I'm definitely trying to make an effort to do that. Trying to write, words that encourage and uplift and motivate. Daniel asks, do you plan on playing live again this year? Sort of. Yes, I do, but I'll be honest, it's been tough getting gigs, and I'm kind of starting to think like, I'd already kind of I'd already anticipated that I can't just rely on gigs. Like, yes, I'm trying to get gigs, but I can't just, I don't want to put everything on hold just because I'm waiting to get a gig. Because that's kind of how it works. It's like you contact the venue and then you wait, you wait to hear back from them, And so while I'm waiting, I'm still trying to be productive and still trying to find like other ways to get my music out there. And to be honest, it's kind of hard. It's like the venues that have kind of contacted me back, I don't know that there's much of a metal scene in my local town and stuff, It's like if I were doing a different genre of music, I probably could book a gig a lot easier. But because I'm doing metal, there's very few venues that actually, are willing to do that. And there's a few that have like said, yeah, we'll book you, you know, but they're like trying to get some other metal or hard rock artists to set me up with. And so it's kind of like, yeah, it's just kind of not happening. Now I do have a buddy, actually my friend who is the vocalist for my band at War With Myself. He does he does have a like kind of a, man, I'm drawing a blank on what you call it, but basically they set up events and stuff like that, but specifically for music and shows, and it is kind of around metal. So I'm kind of thinking like rather than just you know, reaching out to all the venues in my local area, I probably just need to focus on the ones that might actually book me. And I had talked to him a while back, and he kind of said, yeah, you know, once you get a few more, you know, musicians, you know, maybe we can try it, because I am playing, not necessarily a promoter. I mean, that might be the word. I'm just drawing a blank, but you know, he's the one that kind of like that books the bands and sets them up, and I think they typically do them at the same venue. It's some kind of brewery downtown, but it's like outdoors, kind of near it, and it's yeah. I think they book the shows and set them up and stuff. So I mean, maybe that's a promoter, but you know, not like the one like doing like any marketing or anything like that. But you know, I'm thinking at some point, like, I'm probably just going to talk to him and just be like, hey, man, you know, I know I'm still playing with backing tracks, but, you know, just, you know, let me be an opening act. Just give me a chance to put on a show and see if people enjoy it or not. If they don't, then, you know, fine. I won't come back till I've got other musicians with me. And if they do, cool. You know, maybe we can do this, you know, every couple months or so. But you know, we'll see. So it's getting a little tough. Now, I'm not too concerned about it. One thing I've been trying to look into, I just haven't really had the time. I'm kind of looking into ads a little bit. I think if you provide a service-based business, you don't really need ads. That's not really the best thing to use, because whatever you know, if you're providing a service, one of the best things you can do is just make content that people are looking for. You know, people go to YouTube all the time or Google and they type in how to blank. So, you know, if you, like if I had a business teaching guitar, you know, how to play guitar, you know, that's something people are looking for, how to play this type of chord, how to play something like that, you know. And if that's what my business was, I could make videos or content so that when people are searching for those things, they might come across my content. And then you could build up an audience that way, and there are ways to monetize that audience. But as an artist, like no one knows who I am. No one knows I exist, and so it's a little bit harder. No one's searching for me, and so you got to find ways to help them find you. So that's why I'm trying to put out more songs, trying to make more content based off of those songs, and just trying to find ways that people might stumble across my music, and you know. Putting it out on different platforms and things like that. But the interesting thing about ads is that you can customize them. Ads, you can customize them so that they show up in front of your target audience or your ideal audience. So obviously, I would want to customize it to show up in front of people who are fans of bands like Chevelle and Killswitch Engage and Flyleaf, and you know, if an ad of mine would show up like that, then there's a chance that they would see that and be like, hey, that sounded pretty cool, and they'd check it out, you know. And so again, I still have to research that a little bit, so I'm not saying like that I'm totally, you know, going for that yet, but I think it's plausible if how do I say this? You know, I think it's plausible if you strategize it, like if you know what you're doing. If you're just paying and just hoping it's going to work and get results, like I think that's not going to work. But if you're strategic with how you use ads, I think they can be effective. Daniel says, yeah, we have bars like that, but you know, if you want to play a brewery bar, then they probably want acoustic guitars and nothing too loud. Yeah, that's usually the case. This particular venue, they have an outdoor set for it, and again, I'm not totally sure how it works. I don't know if my friend is associated with the you know, the venue, but they have had metal shows there, you know, and I think they've had a few, and that's kind of like the only, hard rock scene right now, I guess, But you're right that most places, yeah, they want like acoustic stuff or something kind of soft. So it is a little tricky to kind of book that kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. I kind of have like a timeline, I'm kind of waiting for some replies, and if I don't get them, then I'll reach out and try. So we'll see. I'm definitely hoping to do some live shows, and definitely looking to kind of implement some new things. So yeah, so we'll see what happens with all that. But anyway, guys, I think, let's see. Might hang out just a little bit longer, might do one or two more songs. If any of you have a request, let me know, and I'll pull that out. Otherwise, I can just kind of pick one at random and stuff. But if there's anything you'd like to hear, just let me know. If you have any more questions or anything, let me know, and I can expound on that. Right now, one thing I've kind of done this year is I have kind of my main goals, and then I've tried to break it up into quarterly goals. So the first quarter of this year is almost up. Can you believe it? We're almost at the end of March here. And so I can actually read them for you. Let's see. My goals for March were to release 2 songs, to look into ads, not necessarily release an ad, but I definitely wanted to kind of like look into it and like plan to do that. And then I was actually, I will say with these streams, so the YouTube streams have been going pretty good. I really appreciate you guys, Daniel, Stanley, and some of the others who kind of show up regularly. I really appreciate you guys watching, but like this has been one of the most effective things so far is streaming. But I have wondered if there's maybe another platform that might have that target audience. So there was a platform called Sessions Live. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that was basically a streaming platform for musicians, and it was basically you go there and people perform music, and that was the whole point of the platform. Now, that platform has since shut down, and it actually sounds like there's kind of some like trouble with that. It sounds like that platform might actually owe artists money, and they just disappeared without a trace. And so I don't know. I'll have to kind of see if anything like comes out of that. But so maybe it was good that I didn't get involved with that. But I am trying to look up and see if there's a way that I can stream to YouTube and another platform at the same time. Right now, the best platforms as far as like music goes, the best that I'm looking at right now would be Twitch and TikTok. Now, Twitch is really big for gaming, but I do think there are musicians who play on there. So I think Twitch might be worth looking into. And then TikTok's, that's the new and relevant. That's the big thing right now. And I think TikTok Live is fairly new. So probably something I'd want to jump on before it becomes, old. But we'll see. And ideally, I would like to, now I'm saying this, now just so you guys know, I'm not planning to leave you guys, so I'm still planning to stream here and want to stream for you. Now, if any of you, if y'all hang out, if any of you happen to watch Twitch or TikTok, then it's like, oh, well, cool. Well, maybe we'll just try our streams over there for a little bit and see what happens. But I'm hoping to have a setup where I can multi-stream. I'm not totally sure if I'll be able to do that. There are ways, but I don't know if I have the hardware or the software to do that yet. I still have lots of tests to run, but it'd be awesome if I could stream to YouTube and stream to Twitch at the same time, or stream to TikTok at the same time. And if not, then maybe I'll alternate, each week or something like that. And I'd like to try it for a while and just see if anything comes of it, but not sure. So that's something I'm kind of looking into. So those were kind of my goals for this month. I don't know. The month is coming up. I do not know if I'm going to get this song released by the end of the month, and I still have a little bit of time to look into that multi-streaming thing. So we'll see if that happens or not. So it's going to be close, but that's okay. If the next quarter, some of these goals will carry over to the next quarter, and then I might add a few additional goals that I'd like to set out to accomplish. But the main thing is it is helpful to kind of break it down into smaller goals, and it does keep you just moving forward. I definitely haven't been stationary. I've been very much trying to always working towards something, you know. And I'd say the priority right now, I am just trying to release more music. Like, I'd really like to release more songs this year. And I'll say that with each release, I do feel like I'm getting just a bit more engagement. It does seem like, you know, like it's not like a huge amount yet, but it does seem more people are kind of noticing and more people are interacting and kind of checking things out. And so I'm hoping that, you know, by the end of the year, whichever song, you know, however many songs I've released, by that time, hopefully it will have gotten bigger and be more like a snowball effect, and more people are kind of checking out my music and anticipating my music and checking it out. So got a couple requests from Daniel. Let's Start Again and Erase Myself. Those sound like some good ones to do. So Stan, you must just have a very open mind for this stream, because Daniel and I, we just keep reading your minds. But sounds good. All right, let's go into Let's Start Again, and then we'll do Erase Myself, and I think that is going to be it. But while I am performing these songs, let me know if you guys, what you've been listening to lately. Have you checked out any new artists? You've been listening to some just old favorites? Have you learned any new songs on guitar, or are you working on any new songs? You know, trying to learn any new songs on your instrument right now. Are you writing any songs, making anything up? You know, let me know what you guys been up to musically. You know, what you've been listening to, what you've been playing, what you've been working on. This one goes out to you, Daniel. This one's called Let's Start Again. Might need a capo for this 1 second. Let me make sure I'm going to play that right. There we go.
Let's take it back just one more time and see if you and I can make it right. I don't understand, why do we always have to fight? It's a cycle we go through when you and I are too afraid to lose. It wouldn't be so hard if you would just tell me the truth. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend. I watched us as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. And do you think that you could love me too? So let's start again. Let's start again. Let's take it back just one more time and try to figure out the reason why. Do you feel the same, or are you messing with my mind? I can never understand what's going on inside your head. You could run away, or you could talk to me instead. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend. I watched us as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. And do you think that you could love me too? Let's start again.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I haven't practiced that.
Never watched us as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. But do you think that you could love me too? So let's start again. Let's start again.
All right, if this was Guitar Hero, I probably would have failed that song. I'm gonna, let me see if I can get that solo. If I can find it. So I think that's the solo right there. All right. Yeah, that's the thing. I kind of took a chance that, you know, anyone could request any of these songs. And just hoping I could remember them well enough. There's the ones I play regularly, and I can play those fine. And then there's the ones I only pull out from time to time. Let's see. There we go. Okay, here we go. Gonna try that again. Let's start again.
You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend. I watched us as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. But do you think that you could love me? Let's start again. Let's start again.
Yep, if you mess up a solo, you just start again. That's the moral of that song there. So, all right, let's see here. Quincy, I go where you go. I will help all I can. Well, thanks, Stanley. I appreciate that, and I'll definitely keep you posted wherever I end up at. So, well, yeah, thanks. I do appreciate that. Could not remember the name. Yep. Just trying to learn more Randy Rhoads stuff. Cool. Been busy working a lot. I need to stop procrastinating. And, yeah, that happens. It's, let's see, it's, yeah, you know, life gets me. It happens to me too, you know. Things, you kind of fall into a routine. Even lately, I've done better this week, but the other week I was kind of working a lot of overtime. Like especially, you know, when you're self-employed and you're doing yourself, you have to hold yourself accountable. And, but balance is such an important thing. And I don't always sleep the best. And so it's really important for me to kind of wind down in the evenings and just get my mind on other things, you know, so I can kind of chill out. And that usually helps me kind of rest better. And, you know, from time to time, I might have to work into that evening a bit, and that's fine. But if I do that too much, then it kind of starts to affect my sleep, and yeah, it gets rough. And so that happens to me too, where there's kind of things you know, that I'm wanting to enjoy or I'm wanting to take part in, and it just, you know, I'm not letting myself do it because I end up kind of overworking and that kind of thing. But this week been a little better, been kind of easing it, sort of balance. You need a balance, you know. Rest is just as important as work. Not one or the other. You know, you don't want to be resting all the time. You don't want to be, you know, sitting around doing nothing. But at the same time, you don't want to be overworking and killing yourself. You know, it's a balance of those two things, making sure you're working hard, but that you're also enjoying your downtime and enjoying the things that you appreciate and that you're passionate about. Daniel says, it's okay. It just lets the audience know it's not a backing track playing. Yeah, so that's true. That is kind of the nice thing. If I mess up on a solo, it's like, okay, so he's not just miming the guitar, you know. It's like, yes, I am really playing. And so, yeah, that's kind of the nice thing. So it's not just, you know, not like the solo's playing and I can just be like, what time is it, you know? And, you know, yep, definitely me playing. All right, let's see here. Stan says, Simple Man. On acoustic strumming, I have Simple Man. Okay, on acoustic. I got you. Learning Simple Man. Strumming, I have not the intro. Okay, cool. Well, yep, just keep working on that. Keep playing that. And it will come in time. So, cool. Nice to know. I'm trying to think. You know, I don't really get to learn too many songs these days because usually it's just my own stuff. That's kind of the funny thing. I used to learn songs all the time, used to play them, but you know, once you're kind of producing songs, that's all you spend your time doing. It's like just kind of playing your own songs, but and kind of listening to stuff. I'm trying to even think like, what's the last thing I've learned? I don't know. I learned songs for like church and that kind of thing, but kind of worked on some piano stuff a little bit, you know, mainly just kind of relearning some old songs that I hadn't played in a while. But Stanley says, I do procrastinate, according to my wife. Yeah. So, you know, that's just her opinion, but, you know, but her opinion's right. Remember that, Stan, her opinion's right. Don't try to argue with that. So, cool. Stanley, Daniel, I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and play one more song for you, and then I'm going to have to move on. So, but I'll definitely keep you guys posted, and we'll see what happens, you know, with the streaming and stuff. Again, I'm still gonna continue to stream on YouTube, but I'll keep you guys updated on how that stuff's happening, and hopefully I'll have a new song released for you guys in the next couple weeks or so. The deadline is like in 2 weeks, but I don't know if I'm going to reach it or not. It's going to be close, so we'll see. But it's going to be close to that. You know, it's coming soon. So, and Stanley does tend to prioritize the songs for Sunday, trying to be ready. And yeah, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, cool. All right. Well, I think this is going to be the last song for the evening. So if you guys have any last questions or things you'd like to share, anything you're curious about, or any news you'd like to share, anything coming up soon, yeah, just let me know. And but other than that, I'm going to play the song, and then I think we're going to call that a wrap. But appreciate you guys. This one goes out to both of you. The song's called Move On. Sorry, not Move On. I was like, something seems very familiar like this. It's like, I've already played that. This one's called Erase Myself. So my pun didn't even work. I was using Move On to say, like, hey, it's time to, you know, it's convenient, but yeah, sorry. Thanks, Stan. Appreciate that. Yeah, remember the year goal, not the month goal. And that's kind of what I'm hoping. It's like, yes, I'm kind of setting goals for the month, and you know, kind of just trying to do my best with that, and then hoping that by the end of the year, it's like, wow, look where I'm at compared to where I started. You know, that's kind of the hope. So we'll see what happens. Might just double check my tuning real quick. But yep, this is This is my latest release, Move On. Oh my gosh, I did it again. My latest release, Erase Myself. Ugh, not Move On. All right, this is my latest release, Erase Myself. It's been kind of nice. I've been trying to kind of make some content based on it, you know. So just every time I release a song, you know, I try to make little bits of content to sort of promote it, put it out there, and you know, little by little, kind of working on trying out different things. And it's been nice, you know. Each thing I put out, it's not like one thing like blows up, but it's kind of, I guess the best example is I put out a post. I can't remember which one, but it was like a simple Instagram post for this song, and it's one of those things where there is a part of you wondering, like, is this even worthwhile? Like, does anyone really care if I put this out there? But sure enough, I put it out there, and someone commented, I'll check it out when I get a chance, you know? And if I hadn't made that post, that person might not have been aware that the song was out, and they might not have checked it. So that's kind of the thing to keep in mind, is like all this different stuff, it might only reach one person, but if I didn't do it, you know, they wouldn't see it. And you can't expect everyone to see the one piece of content you put out. So the more stuff you put out, that's more opportunities for people to find you and find your music and stuff. So that's something I'm kind of learning. And again, it's been nice. Like, I feel like a lot of people have sort of, like, you know, engaged with this. A lot of people are aware of this song. This song did get put on a Spotify playlist, a few Spotify playlists actually. So, you know, we'll see how that plays out, you know. And trying to think, and we'll see. I think at the end of each month, Spotify actually tells you like how many plays the song gets. I'm not sure. My latest songs, Move On, and what was it? It was one other one. Man, I'm drawing a blank. Can't remember what the other track was. It might have been Hard Goodbyes. I don't think it was Hard Goodbyes. I think it was like my recent releases. I'm drawing a blank or whatever. Yeah. But I think my last two releases, like, there's a few numbers next to it. And it's like, wow, they're, you know, like, I can't explain. Like, it's kind of nice to know, like, people are actually listening to my music, you know. According to Spotify, I've got, like, 39 monthly listeners or something like that. And I'm like, what the heck? People are actually listening to my songs. So it might not be, like, much. It might not be huge numbers, but it means a lot, you know. I can't explain like how much it means just to know there's people out there who connect with my music, and so I'm hoping. I try to remember like the artists that I connect with and how much their music means to me, and so I'm just trying to kind of keep that mentality. Like, you know, I want to make songs for you. You know, I want to make songs to you know, encourage and uplift and just for people like you to enjoy, you know, music that's in a style that you guys appreciate, that moves you, that you connect with. And so appreciate that, guys. This is going to be the last one for the evening. This one's called Erase Myself. Thanks for looking out for me, Daniel. Yeah. He's saying, hey, Stan, make sure Quincy gets something to eat and get some sleep after this. Yeah. Don't worry. It's actually my brother's birthday today, and so I think we're having a little bit of a birthday dinner for him. So I'll get home, and there should be some plenty of food to eat. So, all right, this one's Erase Myself.
Don't I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again. Grab a hold of me and throw me in the deep end. Show me the flame that burns inside of me, and I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. Yeah, yeah. I can't remain without the refiner. It's time to change what used to define me. Resist the pain, I have to keep fighting. Ignite the flame that's deep down inside me. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. It hurts at first, but worth all the pain to see myself and not be ashamed. And I'll brace myself for all this pain, erase myself and start again, and I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again.
Thank you. Thank you kindly. All right. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up with what's... It's where my tuner keeps going. I was going to say, I thought we requested erase myself. Yep, we did, yeah. Just a little tongue twister there. Yep. Location, yep. Will do, man. Yeah, thanks. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all tuning in. That's going to be it for this stream. For anyone watching now or anyone watching on the replay, If you'd like to support me, there's a link in the description to a virtual tip jar, and that helps me out. That helps me so that I can keep doing this, keep writing songs, keep bringing you music, and bringing you content. And so anything that you can provide, I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate the support. If you don't have the financial means to support me, my biggest goal right now is building an audience. So you can help me do that by sharing my music, sharing my content, inviting people to the streams, liking and commenting on the videos, sharing them, subscribing to the YouTube channel, and subscribing to my email list. There's a link in the description. And if you can sign up for my email list, that allows me to contact you. I can notify you whenever I release a new song, whenever I've got music videos or playthrough videos coming out, that kind of stuff. I can notify you about that. So please sign up for my email list. There's a link for that in the description. And again, just about all the songs you heard this evening, my music is on Spotify, and if you'd like to download any of my music for free, there is a link in the description to Bandcamp. And if you go to my Bandcamp, all of my songs are available for free to download, so you can find them there. Happy birthday, Bentley, and yep, Daniel says, happy birthday to your bro. Yep, thanks, Quincy. Yep, thank you, Daniel. Yep, I'll let him know you guys said happy birthday, and yep, looking forward to getting home and celebrating him. Thank you, Stanley. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys so much. And, thanks for watching wherever you are. Hope you have a good evening or morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are, whatever time in the world. Until next time.